A couple more quick questions on the COVID situation. First off, Senate Finance approved the CARES Act money, how to spend the 1.2 billion or so that we have in front of us. Could you share what are the high points, and then once you guys make a decision, how quickly do those dollars sort of flow?
We've got about $1.9 billion from the federal government that came to South Carolina that the General Assembly will decide where that money goes. We voted in the Senate to deal with $1.2 billion of that right now immediately. One, because it's a very fluid situation, and we just don't know what we're facing as we move through it. So we felt it prudent to hold back about $650 million of that for another round of this allocation, probably again in that September, October timeframe when we come back for the budget. Of the $1.2 billion that we spent, though, the real important parts are broadband expansion. We have committed to, and with the dollars from the federal government, we have a really great opportunity to put in place expansion of broadband capabilities to the entire state of South Carolina. And that is it was a commitment from everybody on Senate Finance. I have not heard of anybody in the Senate that's opposed to that. That will do a number of things. One, it will improve education opportunities. You know, if we have another instance where we have to have a lockdown and students can't go to school, we'll have online capabilities to reach every student in South Carolina. But it will also provide us to the opportunity to create some real opportunities in healthcare and business continuity and expansion of business in some of the more rural communities that have to have that type of technology that weren't able to get it otherwise. So that's kind of one of those bullets that does three things for us right out of the gate that helps education, helps healthcare, and helps the business community. So that's a big deal. We've allocated about $50 million of that initially, with probably plans to do another $30 to $100 million to get that implemented pretty quickly. Some other highlights is about $220 million for education. A lot of that is we lost touch with a lot of students, a lot of these in the rural communities, when we went to home-based and online learning for the last couple months of the school year this year. Just lost contact. So we put in I think it was about $50 million or so to do some summer camps for those students to get them back in the schools. There's some very intensive English and math training. That's a big deal. Some more money to bring the students back early for the next school year to get caught up. That's an important piece. Another $270 million to local governments, municipalities, and county governments. Those are probably the biggest pieces. And then the large piece is $500 million that we've committed to the Unemployment Insurance Trust Fund. We have blown through that. We did a remarkable job. Really, the business community did a remarkable job over the last 8 to 10 years of rebuilding our unemployment trust fund from the Great Recession, got it up to about $1.2 billion, and we have basically wiped that out, or will wipe that out by mid-August. So putting a lot of this money back into the system and not on the backs of business is critical to help those folks recover as well.